at, boss? Seneca Hampton, where you at, boss?
Welcome back to the Big Game Breakdown live from Knuckleheads, Ocean Springs. We've got a packed show tonight as we dive into last week's heartbreaker. Our Greyhounds fell 29-28 in overtime to Northwest Rankin. But we're not done yet. We'll break down what went wrong, what went right, and we'll also look ahead to this week's matchup against Natchez. Joining us tonight are our senior wide receiver, Nolan and our offensive coordinator, Tracy Lampley. Thanks for tuning in, and if you're here with us, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Good. All right. All right, Coach. It was a tough one last week, losing 29-28 in overtime. It's never easy. What are your immediate thoughts reflecting back on that game?
So one, we came into the game expecting offense to kind of bounce back off the Oak Grove, respond with the run game that we kind of developed against a really good football team. And, credit Northwest Rankin, their defense did a great job of slowing it down. I'm not going to say they shut it down. There were still opportunities to run the ball in several instances, but did a really good job of game planning, making the quarterback run go side to side. The running backs had some creases there, but, they did a good job slowing us down. And then, for the most part, had opportunities to win the game in every quarter. And, had some special teams blunders, had some special team really good things happen on special teams with a 95-yard kickoff return. But, it's the consistency of play that's killing us. So it's a thing that we talk about in the locker room, we talk about at practice, and we really made a big focal point of it this week in practice is, there's 5 to 6 plays that determine the outcome of a game. But if, those 5 to 6 plays have any type of extracurriculars, whether it be holding penalties, offsides, personal fouls, anything added to it, you start eliminating big plays that could impact the game.
Right.
And, the whole game felt like it was 1 step forward, 2 steps back. And there were points of times on offense where I think we started driving to 25 late in the third quarter. And I added up, we gained 55 yards, and we were still on the minus 35. We'd only put together 10 yards after penalties, and it's just a constant we're finding ways to mess things up right now. We're burning our identity as a team, but there's still some great things to harp back on, right. And there's the things we got to learn from, and the big thing is learning from those mistakes. And thought it was a great effort, especially defensively. Mm-hmm. And then offensively, we moved the ball up and down the field, just didn't put it in the end zone because of turnover or penalties or what have you. And they're talking to you earlier before the show started. It's the only good things about losses are opportunities to learn.
Yeah.
And that's a great thing about non-region play is your opportunity to learn. Well, you lose that game 29-28. You have the opportunity to teach a lot of things to a young, inexperienced football team. To whereas if you win that game 29-28, your learning curve isn't as big.
Right.
So a lot of things we learned this week. I thought we had a great week of practice. That's it was a tough loss. It's a tough loss for our kids, a tough loss for our team, a tough loss for the community. You want to go out there and win that. Yeah. They go for 2 at the end of the ball game. I knew they would. I was hoping our defense could hold them out. They held them to 3rd and goal from the 10. Great individual play by that receiver and the quarterback putting the ball where it needed to be. No fault to the defense at all. That's a instance where they have an incredible football player, and he went up and made a play.
Right.
Yeah, it's not how you want it to fall, but that's the way they feel, and that's part of having this tough schedule. So. We're going to learn from it. We're going to move forward. We're going to start picking up wins, and we're going to get this thing rolling.
Oh, definitely, Coach. What do you think were the key moments that led to the game going into overtime?
One was that there was a drive in the first half that we're moving the ball, and we come back. We have a snap over the head. We get saved a little bit by some officials right there. We throw a pick right after that. And that's just your football gods coming in and taking care of the situation where it should have been a turnover in the first place. And just your little things of a lot of people are doing their job the right way, but on offense, it takes 11 people doing their job at all times. If one person messes it up, it's not going to turn out well for you. And so the first half, we go into halftime up 7-0. Not the worst thing in the world, but you had opportunities to separate the game early. And then we come back out. I was looking for a spark in the locker room, and we come out. Kickoff return, we were a little bit of a safe return there and put a lot of people up close to the ball. I didn't want an onside kick to start the second half like we had against Oak Grove. But we had Bryson back deep, and we had worked all week on that type of safe return. And he sparks the game with immediate 95-yard kickoff return. And, that's the great thing about Bryson Smith. You kick the ball to him, you're asking for it. And, we got 3 other guys back there that can do the same thing, but if you're kicking the ball to 7, you're asking for it, and they kicked it to him, and they got it. 95-yard kickoff return, up 14-0. Feel really good about it. Defense comes out, puts a stamp on it, stops it, come back, another long drive that ends with no points. And defense back out there, 3 and out. They punt, we muff a punt, give them the ball inside the 20-yard line. They end up scoring, and that's what starts getting their momentum. And it's just like I said, things just adding on top of each other. You get down inside the 1-yard line, about to go up 2 scores with 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Again, feeling really good about it. 2 opportunities to score before that. Missed a couple blocks. Still inside the 1. Fumble the ball, get it back. Second goal on the 4. Personal foul. Second and goal on the 19. And then you don't put that ball in the end zone, and you start thinking those things compound. All a bunch of young guys, young inexperienced guys that are learning their way right now, and they're going to figure it out. They're going to figure out how we play football, and we're going to move forward. But I mean, it was just a lot of inconsistency on our part, then a lot of good on Northwest Rankin side as far as game planning for us.
You mentioned resilience in the past. How did you feel the team responded to the challenge during the game?
They're going to battle. That's the great thing about Ocean Springs kids that you don't see everywhere else is they are going to battle. That's a compliment that I love hearing from other head coaches. You see head coaches out there talking there in pregame, especially guys that you've worked with before. Me and Coach Cooper have worked together for the first 4 years of my coaching career. Me and him were in the same classroom, same gym. We were around each other all the time, so me and him were really close. And he comes to me, and it's just like every year we play him. He goes, no matter what, your guys play so hard. And that's a kudos to Ocean Springs and the type of kids they raise and the community that these kids come up in. He goes, no matter what, no matter situation in the game, whether you're up 50 or you're down 10, he goes, those guys play so hard, and that makes up for anything else that you could possibly have. And that's how our defense, that's the identity they've built, is we're in the right place. We play hard. And, those are the resiliency things we talk about going in each week. And, it's really tough walking into a locker room on Monday when you're 0-3. The resiliency of these kids takes over. You give them a little bit of spark here, get a little spark there, make sure that everybody's on the same page. But the resiliency of this group takes over, and it's going to be a great season. It's going to pan out the way we need it to. When we need it to happen, it's taking a little time, but that's how we schedule it.
All right, how do you take this loss and turn it into a learning moment for the guys moving forward?
That's now what we talked about earlier. It's I wouldn't have the opportunity to do the things that we did this week had we won that ball game. And I felt like some of the things we did, especially on Monday and Tuesday, were very necessary for our football team, and things that we saw on film and things that really needed to happen. And had you won that ball game, you may not got to do all those things. You may not be able to expose all the things you need to expose. And we're still playing good football. It was just one or two things here and there, penalties, turnovers, things like that.
Yeah.
Things that you can amplify during practice and really focus on and make these kids understand the importance of it. They wouldn't appreciate the importance of it had you come out with a win. Yeah. You know, when you come out with a loss and you lose by 1 point to a team that you thought you were about to beat, well, now, all right, there's some importance to this. There's importance to our ball security drills. We're not just doing it to fill time. So we do ball security during our water periods to make sure that we're getting time to focus on those. Well, now you understand the importance.
Right.
All right, it was one fumble that we got back that still cost us because you know, the runner was in the end zone, but because it popped out, even though we still recovered it, if you're in the end zone right there, we don't get that personal foul. It doesn't back up the second goal from 19. It's a different ball game. You're up 21-14 with 6 minutes left to go in the game, or 21-7. I'm sorry.
Yeah. What were the positives you saw from both sides of the ball? And what areas need the most improvement heading into this Natchez game?
So positives, I'm going to start with defense. The defensive line, I got some clips whenever we get to that. Defensive line is playing. Yeah, we can talk about it while we're at it. Yeah. You just tell me when we're up. The defensive line's playing their tails off. All right. We'll jump forward to them real quick. Here we go. So, you know, we talk about the most experience we got on the defensive side. It's going to be the defensive front. And, you know, you start off with BJ. Asher's played 2 years of offense, moved him over to defense. Ricky's got 2 years of playing time. And, you know, you just watch BJ doing BJ things. I mean, he holds the offensive tackle right where he's standing. I mean, that guy's not just trying to hold him there. That guy's trying to drive him. And you watch him, he just got him at a standstill. He's making the back make decisions at this point. Where are you going to go? Well, I'm tall enough. I can get my eyes on you. I'm strong enough. My hands are inside. I won the difference there. Let me get this tackle off of him and make a play. Yeah. And then you got linebackers and people pursuing to the ball. And you talk about those guys that are just playing their tails off. That's part of it. You're getting to the football on every down, every time you can, while making sure my guys got back up. I'm learning where these guys are. And there's BJ doing BJ things again. Now, Brody helps us out. You know, Brody's number 4. He's come off the edge. Ended up being our defensive player of the week with 13 tackles, a couple tackles for loss. But
benefited off of BJ.
Yep. He's learning how to play the position. I'm not giving that blitz away anymore. I'm creeping the last second. I've timed the snap count. Well, now this tackle's in a bind. He can't communicate that down to his right guard. The right guard's left out to dry, and you got somebody like BJ coming through the middle. You know, that's not going to be good for any quarterback. Move quick to another defensive clip. All right, now you're watching DBs, young DBs. You got Lucas Lampley down here, Aiden Watson, Blaze Nels is a senior, hadn't got a lot of playing time. You got Eric Johnson up top, people that you really didn't know who those guys were to start the season, and just simple out routes to get them during fall camp. You got 3 people on top of the ball right there is why I put this clip in. Yes, it's a gain. Yes, it's a completion. But you got 3 cats around the ball immediately. And they're starting to understand how to play defense as a group. And got one more defensive clip here. This is a crucial part of the game. It's 14-0. It's third quarter. And you know, this is more of an Asher and Ricky. I think BJ ends up making the play. But you're looking at these 2 guys. We're taking a center and we're driving him back 2 yards. That causes problems in any offensive backfield. Ricky's undercutting this tackle right here. He's supposed to be basing him out. And then you got Ezra coming off the edge. That's just a bunch of guys that are playing their role and doing things they need to do to help this team win. And that's why I keep going back to defense over and over. They are doing things that exemplify what Greyhound defense is about. You know, everybody's worried about their experience. They're worried about their athleticism, replacing all 10 of those guys. Well, whenever you play as hard as they do, you're lined up in the right place and you tackle well and you go to the ball. That takes care of a lot of your problems. So then go back to offensively. This is the second drive of the game. Defense puts in a good situation with a turnover on the 30-yard line. Little sprint out with Sherrod. He does a really good job when he gets out of the pocket. Looking for Bryson right here. It's man coverage. Runs a 10 and out right there at the goal line. And, Sherrod throws a dime in there. He drills it right there in his chest. You go up 7-0. Coming back, a point in time where we're right at the beginning or right in the middle of the second quarter, beginning of the second quarter. We stalled out a couple times on offense. We need to get something going. I love throwing perimeter screens, and Nolan, he does a great job at reading blocks. He always picks up positive yards. He's one of our bigger receivers, does a good job shedding tackles. We get in a run formation, motion Berglund out of the backfield and throw a perimeter screen to him, and give Bryson credit, one, for knowing the rules of the game, getting his body between him, knowing that all he has to do is be in the way. And then Berglund does a great job out here getting on the outside edge of this corner.
Drug him up out of there.
I mean, you're putting a tight end on the corner. That's a really good matchup, we feel like, but it is harder for these bigger guys to get on the smaller, more athletic guy in space. And he does a great job with his body, with his hands, keeps his hands inside. Nolan picks up 20 yards on the simple perimeter screen. And other things we like to see. And then very next play, you give the ball to Will Smith. You got two pullers out in front of you, and I just want to Jalen and Calvin on this left side, man. They're turning people's backs around whenever they block down. I mean, that's really good stuff from an offensive line. You don't get that very much in high school. People being this dominant between 64, 71, 70, and 45. They got people's back turned and they're pushing their head in the ground.
Right.
That's stuff you like to see. You got 58-6-3 coming around, get a piece. I like Jaden to stay on that block a little longer. Will maybe to bounce this thing to the outside and let's get rolling. But it's a good, tough run. Yeah. His offensive line blocking as hard as they can possibly block, dominating the line of scrimmage. And then we come out in the second half. We're up 7-0. Bryson, and the kick it to Bryson on the 5-yard line. You see what Bryson does. I mean, that's things he does, and that's
doing what he do.
That's a hazard you're going to take when you kick to him. He should be the special teams player of the year again this year because that was a lot of his all-state recognition was from things he was able to do on special teams last year. I wanted to put this in there. This is into the game. We let Northwest sneak back into it. They're up 21-14. There's 4 minutes left. Sherrod's been playing quarterback most of the game. We call Connor White's number to come back in there, put all your athletes back out on the field. And, it's just the drive that he puts together. Again, we come to Nolan on the perimeter screen. It's just something we like to do, and you see why. He just continues to pick up yards, an easy 8 yards to start out a 3-minute drive, if you will. Come back, let Will tote one. We got plenty of timeouts. We're not hurting for time. He's a smart football player, gets out of bounds right there. All right, so Connor right here, we have a route combination called to the field side to our trips receivers, and he looks back at Jax, who's singled up with a lot of cushion to work with, and he calls this play on his own. It's an isolation route to the backside. I'd like him to get it in a little bit quicker, but we're pushing the play clock. He calls the out route to the sticks. Jax does a good job catching the ball, getting out of bounds, being headsy with the clock, and where we're at this point in time. Connor stands in the pocket, makes a great throw. All right, right here, not as much of a positive play, but it keeps the defense honest. There's still 4 minutes left on the clock. We've moved the ball 40 yards in less than 30 seconds. We're feeling pretty good about it. Let Will tote one. He may bust one, and he's really close right here to having a huge gain. This more came down to what his split was pre-snap. We're in a hurry. He doesn't get the correct split. He's a little bit late getting to the football. Got third down right here, and this is Connor. Connor being a good football player, he steps up, makes sure we don't take the sack, gets us closer to a fourth and manageable. He knows it's a situation where we're going to go for it. He gets back into third and manageable. He knows we got 2 downs to get the first down. No matter what, we got 2 downs. The one play I was pretty upset with during this drive, I don't think we did a good job reading it at the quarterback position. This is a read play. We're reading number 33 right here. When he does this, you got to pull the ball. You got to pull the ball. You got the RPO. That's your defender that you're reading. All right, now we're pulling and we're running at him. He's got to take Ian or he's got to take me. So the one minus that Connor had on this drive gives him a 4th and 2. We checked the play to a speed option. I hadn't showed it all night. Will does a good job picking up the first down. Come back and one of those times that you commend Connor for being able to step up. I really like the slant to Nolan right here. We called it. We talked about it. We talked about it in the huddle, and he sees it. But the corner showing him his butt is what made him come off of it. He's like, this guy is not going to give Nolan the inside. Well, Nolan works him anyway and gets back across. But, I understand what he was looking at. He picks up 7 to 8 yards, gets out of bounds, gives us an opportunity to run the football again. What I was really wanting to do right here is run this thing down to, if we'd ran down to 30, 45 seconds, we may have gone for 2 right there. But, just being as we scored so quick. And this is a great individual effort by Will. We blocked this play terribly. I mean, we didn't do a good job. But individual effort by Will. He gets out here. He's got 5 to 6 guys around him, and his willpower takes him into the end zone.
Will did that by himself.
Yes, he did. And last play I want to hit real quick is overtime play, first play of overtime. We called this. I expected it to score. It did. Talked to Connor beforehand. I was like, if all else fails and we get any pressure, give Nolan a chance. And Nolan gets open. Connor lets the ball go. Just good chemistry between them two. Nolan's still looking over here at the scoreboard, and that ball's already out of his hands, but it's right in the chest.
Yeah,
and that's a great play by both of those two. One, getting open, making the catch. 2, trusting your receiver and putting the ball in the right spot. So, great job by those two. And, a lot of things to build off of. You see a lot of positives right there. Now, it's just those things that we have to fix on the negative end of it.
Man, that, like I said, that was a tough one, but it's a building block. And I think you're learning the pieces. What I'm learning from this, because it's like I'm getting to live through a head coach vicariously. And I'm learning this stuff is like chess.
And
it is. You're playing chess with the other coach, man, and it shows. And I think like you said, we just made key mistakes that cost us in this game. And
not only are you playing chess with another coach, because a lot of your game comes down to playing that with another coach. But your weak time chess is you're playing it with. You're playing chess with 15 to 17-year-olds, and they're all great kids. I love all of them. But at the same time, you got so many different mentalities that you're messing with, and then what if one kid has a bad day? You want everybody's attitude to be the same every day. Well, a kid's gonna have a bad day every now and again, and then it affects his practice, and that affects his playing time. It's a conglomeration of stuff. But yes, it's a chess game throughout the week, Sunday through Friday.
Right. All right, Coach, man, I appreciate you, man. You're going to come back later on for the breakdown for the Natchez game. We're going to get our senior spotlight over here and get Nolan Well over here and talk to him about what it's like being a Greyhound.
Absolutely.
All right. Back. All right, up next, we got one of the Greyhounds' top offensive weapons, senior wide receiver Nolan Wells, a key playmaker for Ocean Springs. Nolan's been a consistent force on the field, showcasing leadership, athleticism, and a heart every game. With a connection, his quarterback that keeps defense on their toes and an unmatched drive to push his team forward. Nolan is a crucial part of the Greyhounds' offense and defense. We're about to dive in with his journey this season so far and what's ahead for this talented senior. What's up, nephew?
What's up, man?
How you doing?
I'm good.
Well, you've been having a big season so far this year, man. Tell us about it. How does it feel coming in for your senior year?
It's great. I'm just happy to, play with some of my best friends.
Yeah.
I play with all my life.
Yeah.
You're
going to probably graduate, eh?
I probably will.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. All right, so Nolan, you've been one of the leaders on the team, especially through some tough games like last week. How do you personally bounce back from a loss like that?
Really just like you're trying to flush it because once it's over, you can't do nothing about it.
Facts.
Trying to have a good mentality for the next coming week.
Yeah.
Play hard, have fun.
Can you talk about the team's energy in overtime and how you guys kept fighting until the very end?
I really feel like everybody was trying to win.
Yeah.
Doing what it takes to win. Being unselfish.
Yeah.
Just having fun. Doing what you do.
Yeah. As a senior, how do you keep the younger guys focused and motivated after tough losses?
I'd say really just being like the older guy, just talking to them about stuff that they go through, that I went through, that everybody that went through, and trying to be positive all the time. Smile, make jokes,
right. What's your mindset going into this week's game against Natchez after a close one like last week?
Really just win.
Win. Got to. What do you think are the key things that the offense needs to improve on heading into this game?
Just really just getting back to us, making big plays when numbers called.
Yeah.
And just taking it play by play. And if anything bad happens, flush it, move on.
You seem to have a good connection with both quarterbacks, Sherrod Whitehead and Carter White. What's that like, having two quarterbacks that you have great chemistry with?
Those guys, they've been some of my best friends since we was kids. Yeah. So really, it's always something like we always wanted for each other.
Yeah.
And this is great. Love it.
Are there any specific matchups you're looking forward to against Natchez defense this week?
Really all of them.
Yeah.
One-on-one.
Yeah.
Get it.
What's your approach when running routes, especially in critical moments of the game?
Really just win it. Me, it's one-on-one, me versus you.
Yeah.
Just thinking like that. Just win.
Are you playing basketball when you playing football out there?
Yeah, I kind of do a little bit.
I can tell, man. I can tell. You be out there like, All right. So, how do you personally handle the pressure of being a go-to receiver, especially in tight games? Because they went for you first play in overtime, and you came up big with that big touchdown catch.
I like it. I like the pressure. I think, you know what I'm saying, best players show up, the pressure's on. So really, I'm glad my coaches got me in a position to make the play.
Right. What kind of feedback are you giving your teammates in practice or during the games to help everyone stay locked in?
Just keep going.
Yeah.
It's not over. Like, we took the 3 losses, took to the chance, whatever. Yeah. Just move on, keep going.
All right, looking ahead, what goals have you set for yourself and the team for the rest of the season?
It's my senior year, so I'm trying to win. Trying to go as far as we can.
Yeah. All right, so how far are you and your fellow seniors approaching this last year, knowing you won't leave a legacy behind?
Just taking it game by game, week by week, day by day. Yeah. Having fun, soaking it all up.
Because it goes fast.
Yeah.
All right. What's one thing you're focusing on improving as you continue this season, personally?
I'll probably say I'm trying to minimize my drops.
Okay.
Like that's probably like my biggest issue. I had more than I had last season.
Oh, really?
Right now, yeah, I think. So I had like 3 or 4 last season, like the whole season. So probably just minimizing that.
Yeah. That's fine. This is a mental thing. That's all it is. All right, looking ahead, are there any specific matchups you're excited for, whether you're an individual, like for the season, or you just taking each game each week by?
I'm ready for the go for a game.
You're ready to go for a game.
That's what I want.
That's been turned into y'all rivalry.
I want that one. Yeah. I want real bad.
All right, man. So after football season, you have basketball. So I know you're ready for basketball. Yeah. That's your thing, for real. So tell us a little bit about basketball. What's you like out there on that hardwood?
I really just like kind of like football. It's just competition. I just love competing, having fun.
Yeah.
Going out there with your friends, trying to win. Fun.
Well, man, Nolan, I appreciate you for stopping by with us this week. We look forward to having you come back again. You know what I'm saying? You know, you're more than welcome to come back here anytime, man. Appreciate you, man.
Thank you.
All right, man. Good luck this week.
You too.
All right. All right, this the Big Game Breakdown Senior Spotlight. We're going to take a commercial break and we'll be right back.
Putting them down,
I'm putting them down, man. Now, let's bring one of the masterminds behind the Greyhounds' high-powered offense. Offensive coordinator, Coach Tracy Lampley. A former standout player himself, Coach Lampley brings a wealth of experience and a deep understanding of the game. From his time playing to now shaping the next generation of talent, his impact on this Greyhound team is undeniable. We're excited to talk strategy, the season, and the challenges ahead with Coach Lampley. Let's give a warm welcome to the man behind the offense, Coach Tracy Lampley.
Man, appreciate you having me, man.
Man. All right, Coach Lampley, last week was a roller coaster for the offense. Yeah. How do you feel about the team's performance, especially during overtime?
During overtime, I think we put a drive together to be able to force overtime. You know what I mean? Yeah. Right before that, we went down 21-14. You know, we could have shut it down then, but the guys did. Yeah. We put a drive together, was able to put it walking down the field and put it in the end zone to be able to give ourselves a chance to either force overtime and actually win that ball game in overtime. But I say all that to say this, man. To be honest, that game should never went to overtime. You know, a lot of self-inflicted wounds that took place that we hurt ourselves and gave them momentum. Yeah. Anytime you give a team momentum on the road, you know what I'm saying, that can be hard to overcome. As you see, man, we couldn't overcome it.
So, man, what were some adjustments made offensively as the game progressed?
To be honest with you, man, we just had to, we really didn't have to make no adjustments. It's all about getting out of our own way.
Okay.
You know what I mean? We stop making those mistakes that's costing us.
Yeah.
And that was the biggest adjustment, man, just getting out of our own way. We had a great game plan, and we was moving the ball up and down the field. But, you know, like I say, we can get a flag here, do something crazy with a penalty that set us back. And I remember one time we had the ball started on the 20 game, almost like 50 yards, and ended right back up on the 20-yard line with those flags, man. So we had to eliminate those things, man, and get this offense rolling.
What can we learn from the execution in key moments, particularly in the red zone?
We got to be dialed in. Everybody got to take their assignment seriously and communicate, go out and execute the play that got called, stay in front of the sticks, and put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah. Who are some players that really stepped up for you during the game?
You got to go with senior Will Smith that stepped up, quarterback Connor Wright. You know, came in and made some plays. You know, Odie. He came in.
Odie is dog.
Ran the ball hard. You know, with the things we had asked him to do, he have done it. So you can go to war with guys like Odie, man. He's gonna give you everything.
He's a football player.
He's a football player.
You can put him on the offensive line. He's gonna play it to the best of his ability.
Yes, he will. And then of course, you know, you got your other senior guys like Nolan stepped up. The tight end did a hell of a job blocking.
Hayden Burton.
Did a great job all night. We asked him to do it in up front offensive line, man. It stood out. So there's a handful of guys that came in and made a difference.
All right, how do you shift focus and prepare for Natchez, especially after such a close and emotional loss?
I mean, we had to do a reality check.
Yeah.
We had to do a reality check with ourselves as coaches. Like Coach Bramlett said on Sunday meeting, he challenged the offensive coaches to stop letting these players get by with self-inflicted wounds. And it's time for us to step it up a notch, and we did that. And the thing that I noticed this week, that all the guys responded. You know what I mean? They could have tucked their chin because we were hard on them and all that. We demanded their very, very best. And we got that out of them this week, man. We had 3 great days of practice, including today with our walkthrough.
Yeah.
And so it's time for us to go out and put it together on Friday.
Coach Lampley, can you walk us through your offensive philosophy? Like, what kind of identity do you want this offense to have?
Play smart, fast, and physical.
Yeah.
That's the key to this game. This game is a physical game.
Yeah.
You play fast because we're spread, we got weapons, and you play physical.
Yeah.
And you got to play smart. And like I say, playing smart, you got to eliminate all the mistakes.
Yeah.
You know, I know mistakes going to happen. That's redundant. But we can decrease it down to maybe 1 or 2 a game. We can live with that. We can fix that.
Yeah.
So that's our identity. I want us to have play smart, fast, and physical.
The quarterback play.
Yes.
How do you feel about it? You got to.
You got to, and that's a good thing to have.
It's a great thing because it's 2 different offenses.
It's 2 different dynamics.
That's what people fail to realize.
Yes.
Like now you got to switch your game plan. Now I got to sit back and worry about Connor. Connor gonna slice you up. Chop and throw it and run it. Both both of them can run it. So you really got a different, game plan around both of them. So
you do, and that kind of with you go with Sherrod at quarterback. And you look at that, and you'll see a lot of defenses try to load the box just to keep him entertained. So that'll open up a lot of one-on-one opportunities outside on the perimeter that we got to take advantage of.
Right.
And like I stressed to the receiver, it's time for us to show our presence.
Yep.
It's time for you to be strong, be within the power of the unit of the receiver. It's time for us to step up. So we get those opportunities. We got to take advantage of it. That'll take some pressure off of Chop.
Right.
He ain't seeing a loaded box, but they load the box.
They gonna load.
Run.
They know he gonna run.
That's a respect.
Yeah.
That's a sign of respect. And they know this offense is built off explosive play.
Yeah. They know he got 4-3-4 speed.
Yes, so he do. So anytime you get some explosive plays going, this offense flows.
Yeah.
And so they try to eliminate that from us. So we got to capitalize on that a little bit more. And when Connor White come in now, you kind of get some soft perimeter. You can do some things on the perimeter. You can open up the run game with Will. And you can do some different motions with some guys to put the ball in their hand, which has been truly successful for us. So they still leave the offense wide open as well. Then again, Connor White can hurt you with his leg too as well. So it's like kind of pick your poison, man. And when you kind of sitting back like a kid in the candy store, we just got to make it right. We just got to make it right and put the ball in our athletes' hands and let them play, man. It ain't hard.
Nah,
it ain't hard.
Especially when you got as many athletes y'all have.
Yes, you got to let them play, man. Take the thinking out of it and let them guys play, man.
Play football. This offense is capable of both running and passing effectively. How do you find the right balance between keeping defense guessing and leaning into the strengths?
Just the flow of the game. You got to get a good flow of the game. If they showing you they can't stop the run, we can just continue to run the football until they show us something different. Right. And then they give us what we want on the perimeter. We got to be able to take advantage of it, man. I like to be balanced. You know what I mean? I like to have 250 passing and 250 running, man. That's a total of 500 yards of offense right there. You can't ask for nothing more than that, man. You know what I mean? And I think we got an offense that can do that. Then we got one of the best offensive linebackers since I've been here. That's pretty good and gonna give us a chance every Friday night. And so we just gotta take advantage of it while we got it, man, and make the best of it.
Man, y'all have one of the best offensive lines.
Yes, we do.
We all know that no offense can run without a strong offensive line.
Exactly.
How has the O-line stepped up this season, and what role do they play in the game plan for Natchez?
Oh, man, it's playing a big role, man. We want to lean on those guys and give us some opportunity. And I say this offense don't go unless they go.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we lean on them and they know it. And you got the big left tackle, Zayden Dino, cranking the horn. Point saying run the ball. You got to run the football behind him, man. With him being, coming out being vocal a little bit more as a senior. And that's all we can ask him for. And everybody look up to him as a leader. And then you got Will Smith in the backfield, running the football. Then you can mix it up with Chop in the backfield. You can bring in something Bryson, and then you bring something Odie. You got a 3-head muscle you can do with that football right there, running the football. And like I say, man, that's a key to our success. We want to be able to run the football when in doubt. We need to be able to hand that football off.
You speak of your playmakers. Playmakers like Will Smith and Nolan Wells.
Right.
You got playmakers like Will Smith in the backfield and Nolan Wells at the wide eye. How do you utilize their skills to open up the offense? It's like a kid in the candy store.
Exactly. You know, you do a lot of film study throughout the week, man. You're looking for tendencies all week.
Like, oh, I want to do this, but then again, that's open over there.
Yeah, exactly. you sometimes you might get caught up in that, but you got to realize, man, hey, you got a lot of athletes out here on the field, so you want to just feed them while they're hot, man.
Yeah,
so Nolan had it going one game. We just keep feeding him, and he got it going. Once you get in the rhythm, it's kind of hard to stop him, man. So we want to keep the ball balanced and make sure everybody's happy, man. You know what I mean? So if everybody happy and then the offense is balanced, and then we playing some winning football. No matter who get the accolades, no matter who get the glory, man, we playing as a unit, man. That's all I can ask you.
That's it, man. All right, responding to adversity. All right, what have you seen from the team in terms of bouncing back from adversity after a loss? What's your message to the guys to keep them motivated and focused?
Basically, like I told them, it's time for us to get out of our own way. Other teams don't need no help beating us. You know what I mean? They don't need no help beating us. So there they go. Just off what this program has done in the last 4 years, the success we done had. So a lot of teams want that. A lot of teams want to come in and beat you. You know what I mean? So we got to be prepared and be ready to play. So I told them we got to get out of our own way. We challenged them come in Monday. We laid it all on the line. You know, we challenged them hard, and they responded in practice, man. So now we want to take what we did this week in practice and take that on the road to Natchez, man, to get us one and kind of get this ball rolling.
It's going to be a long ride back, man.
It's going to be a long ride back, and I want to ride back with a W.
I know that right, man. Shoot. All right, red zone efficiency. What's been the key to improving the red zone efficiency, and how are you planning to take advantage of that area against Natchez?
Man, being simple. Being simple and just taking exactly what the defense gives us. And get the ball to our playmakers. If they want to give us one-on-one matchup on the perimeter, we got to win there. If they want to play soft in the box, we got to hand the ball to Will Smith and let him run behind our big offensive line. And then, you, like I say, you can come in and do some stuff motion-wise with Chop and Bryson. And we can they go man cover. We got some stuff that's schemed up that I think we can take advantage of with their man coverage. And we just got to hit it. You know, we just got to be locked in, be focused, and get the ball to the right guys at the right time. And I think we do that. I think we'll be successful. We'll be better in that area. And we did a great job this week in practice of focusing in the red zone and putting the ball in the end zone. And I made a point to everybody who touched the ball in the red zone, go take it across the goal line. So now you get used to that mentality. Putting the ball in the box. Get in the box and go celebrate. Go have fun. No matter who's scoring. Go have fun.
Practice like you play.
At the end of the day, we all gonna reap the benefits of it.
All right, without giving away too much, what kind of game plan can we expect against Natchez, especially after learning from the past 3 games?
We want to be balanced. Like I said, we want to be balanced.
Stick to the script.
Stick to the script, man. Get the ball early success on first down.
Find y'all identity, know who y'all are.
Yes, you know, they want to give us cover 3. Take advantage of that, you know what I'm saying, in the run game and the passing game a little bit there, and do some quick game stuff like that. Just like I say, getting the ball in our athletes' hands and let them play, and hopefully they can make some guys miss and add on to that. You know, we'll take advantage of that with some tempo kind of stuff, and we'll be solid, man. We want to be balanced.
Ain't nothing wrong with balance, man, because y'all got a balanced team.
We do.
You got a defense to offset that balance too.
Yeah, we do, man. I've been very pleased with our defense.
They've been playing tough. All right, Coach, looking ahead, what are your main goals for the offense for the rest of the season, and how do you plan to execute those as you move into the heart of the schedule? Region play will be here before you know it.
Yes. We want to come out of this game healthy. You know what I mean? We come out of the game healthy with an identity. Like we challenged, like I said, I'm heading back to this, but we challenging them this week. And I think we can get the ball rolling in the right direction, and they can see some results. And then that's all we can ask them for. And then we want to, go into homecoming next week, with the same type of mindset. And then go into the bye week healthy, clean up some mistakes, during the bye week, and then come back and get ready for district play. Because everybody in the district is going to be good. So we don't want the district.
Boy, they coming for y'all head, man. I'm talking about they coming. You got the Biloxis, the Ibervilles, the Harrison Centrals. Who else we got? Even St. Martin said they got something to say, man. They St. Martin sitting 2-1 right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, the 7A said they got something to say. They coming for, they gunning for the kings of the coast.
They're gunning for.
What y'all live, the 2-time or 3-time district champ? Or 4?
3 times.
3 times?
3 times. It's going into my 4th year, so we don't want it 3 years in a row. 3 years in a row. So with that, man, that come with bullseye on your back.
Hey, heavy is the head and with the crown.
That's right. So we want to come out and put our best foot forward during district play, man, and still give ourselves a chance to accomplish all our goals we still got set.
And that's what people fail to realize. That's why your schedule is set up the way it is. So you already battle tested. Y'all finna play your 4th game, and you're playing against playoff caliber teams early. You got like
and that was one of the reasons why we put this schedule how we put it together, man. And,
you're not gonna get better playing against teams you know you can beat just to appease the crowd, so they can go home and say we won.
Just like we talked about, man. We really want to change this program and everybody take it serious. We got to play teams like we played early. You get those guys in the playoff mindset early. So we can make that back run, when it comes. And the thing that people don't realize, the difference this season, we are playing 4 quarters every Friday night. Usually, during the previous season, our starters would be sitting down.
They sitting down at halftime.
And so that's a plus that people really don't realize to look at. But as coaches, you see that. You know what I mean? And the funny thing is, man, every game we done play, we have been winning the football game. And like I said, man, self-inflicted when we clean that up, man, it's good.
This got to be the first class that have to stay in and play the whole game, man.
And that's good for them, man. That's what high school is about, man.
They get something a lot of folks didn't get, man.
A lot of folks didn't get, man. That's what I tell them. When your time comes, you got to be ready.
All right, Coach Lampley, we appreciate you taking the time to sit down with us and share your insight. It's clear you got a great offensive mind and a solid plan in place for this season. We're looking forward to seeing how the Greyhounds bounce back against Natchez and push forward the rest of the way. Best of luck to you and the team.
Man, I appreciate it. Go
Greyhound, baby. Go Hound. All right, we're back for our final segment preview of Week 5 versus Natchez. All right, Coach, it's a short week to regroup after the overtime loss. How do you get the team ready to bounce back and face Natchez this week?
Well, you focus on the things that you need to fix immediately. And obviously, we had several of them, and that's what we spent money on, was fixing those things, introducing the game plan for what we need to do against Natchez. Natchez is a really good football team. They're 3-0 right now. They're scoring a ton of points, and we got to do things to take advantage of their weaknesses and find and expose those offensively and defensively. So, I mean, you're week in, week out. You're doing a lot of the same things. Coaches love consistency. Coaches thrive on consistency. Well, consistency hadn't been paying off for so much last 3 weeks. So this week we threw a little bit of a curveball in there, practiced a little bit differently, did things a little bit differently, acted a little bit differently, try to change some of the mindset going into the week. And, we had 3 really good days of football practice. And then, the focus on Natchez part is more of all right, introduce Natchez, but we're focused on ourselves.
Yeah.
We're doing things that are easy to execute on offense. We're going to make sure that we're doing the right things offensively. And then defense, they've been playing sound. Make sure they know all the ins and outs of the game plan, and they're good to go.
Yeah. Are there any key matchups of players you want us to keep an eye on?
Number 5 is a really good football player. He's a defensive end for him. He's a good defensive end last year. He's 6'3", 240 pounds. He's a good-looking football player, and he moves around the field pretty well. And then 72 on the defensive interior is a problem. Like he's a 315, 320-pound kid that's really hard to block. He plays with a high motor. And then offensively, their quarterback is a phenomenal player. He does a great job extending the play. He knows what they're trying to do on offense. They're very for a 5'8" football team. You see people who aren't very complicated, or there's not a lot of different wrinkles on offense. Well, he started for 2 years already as a quarterback. Yeah. They're able to be pretty creative and pretty inventive with what they're trying to do with their offensive scheme, and you're going to see that. You're going to see some tempo out of him. You're going to see him slow it down. You're going to see him play action and throw it into the flats, and then he extends plays and keeps his eyes downfield. Yeah. But he is a very good athlete on top of that, so he has the potential to take one to the house with his feet. Yeah. And it's just he's a hard person to handle. Yeah. And our defense struggled with him at times last year as a junior. And, you know, he got another year of experience under his belt. Yeah. They're returning every skill guy they had on offense last year, so they're gonna be a handful.
Yeah, that sounds like it. The defense has shown grit, but also facing tough moments. What adjustments have you and the defensive staff made to get ready for the Natchez offense?
Get off the field on 3rd and long. Mm-hmm. Get off the field on 3rd and long. If it is 3rd and more than 3, whatever we have to do to get off the field. Yeah. You know, obviously you like the 3rd down stops on short yardage too, but a staple of your football team has to be if you're not 3rd and 3, 3rd and 2, something like that, you might as well call your drive done. Yeah. And that's what we want the defensive identity to be. And you know, they're doing a great job on 1st and 2nd down, and then on your 3rd mediums and 3rd longs are fine, but the 3rd and really longs is where we're having issues at. And it's just, you know, it's not a play call. It's not. It's everybody just trying to protect the sticks, and all right, no, we're going to play with our mentality. Yeah. Like, all right, we tried to play in the sticks. Now we're going to play with our mentality, and we're going to keep playing defense, and we're going to make a 3rd and 20 call just like we'd make a 2nd and 8 call. You know, we're playing good defense, and we're able to lock these dudes up, and we're able to play some cover 3 or play some hard 2 and things you would normally do on a normal down and distance situation. We can do that on 3rd and long and get away with it.
How important is Coach Collins' special team unit going to be this week?
It's going to be a big part of this week. Where, you know, we've made some adjustments to the punt team. We had a couple close calls on blocks, and we had one block scooped and scored that ended up that play didn't cost us a game, but that was 7 points that you know shouldn't have been had. And then we had a blocked field goal that again could have you know, gone in our favor towards the end of the game before overtime. And we made the personnel changes where we need to make them, and we've emphasized the importance of each position and what you're doing with that unit during that time. And you know, it's going to be a point in time where we're putting people on the field to do this, and this is your role and this is your job, and it's not like you just find somebody on the sideline. I'm taking starters and putting them in these positions. It's special teams is that important to us, and if you don't win 2 of the 3 phases, you're not going to win. Right. And you know, we played Northwest, and we feel pretty good about our offensive performance. We won the defensive battle. We lost in special teams, even with the kickoff return for 95 yards. We lost in special teams and offense, and that's what cost you a game. You lost 2 out of 3 of them. We win special teams every time, and that's been the focal point this week during our special teams periods. Mm-hmm. We win special teams every week, and no matter what, you either take pride in it and fix it, or I'm gonna find somebody that will.
Yeah, as a team, him in the head with a crown. Yeah. What's the mentality you want to see from the team as they face Natchez this week?
A dominant mentality. A dominant mentality. I want them to walk on the field with the intention to put up as many points as we can and allow 0. I want a dominant performance. I feel like we need a dominant performance. I want our guys to take pride in going out there and exemplifying exactly what we are on offense, and then turning around and showing how dominant we can be on defense and put a full game together. Defense has been doing like we've talked about 100 times. I've beaten a dead horse. Defense has done a phenomenal job keeping us in games, but let's put together that performance that we're capable of. Let's get off the field when we can. Let's not allow a cheap touchdown in the second half on a long drive. Let's put together a dominant performance on that side. And then offensively, go out there and do what you're capable of doing. we have a lot of really fast kids. We have a lot of really athletic kids. We got a lot of kids that catch the football, run the football. We got a great offensive line that's been doing their part. They've been grading out high. Put it together. And put it together, and that's on you. Like that's the coaches are going to give you the game plan. We're going to put you in the most successful position possible. Now it's on you to make it happen on a Friday night. And I want them to have that, the responsibility of, I'm going to hold you accountable at the end of a Friday night. Like, I'm going to put a lot of stuff on me. I'll put the Madison game on me. I'll put the Oak Grove game on me. I'm going to put Northwest on you. You've got to hold yourself accountable and do the right things at the right times. And that's a lot of our focal point this week is, all right, you look at this. Who's all doing the right things? Well, if only 50% of you are doing the right things, you have got to hold yourself accountable and do the right thing every play, whether you got the ball in your hands or not. And that's been the great part of this week as we've started, and mixing different guys in too. Is the guys who do the right thing? Those are the guys that are going to get out there and play, because we can win ball games. And no matter what type of athletes out there, as long as the offensive line's blocking like that, our quarterback's playing smart, and we got a running back to run the ball like he does. And we've challenged some people this week, and it's amped some people's play up, and it's amped their intensity up. And I'm excited to see what they do on Friday night as an answer to what the coaching staff is expecting from them this week.
All right, finally, it's a long drive up the Natchez. All right, what can Greyhound fans expect from this team on Friday night, and what do you want the crowd know heading into this game?
It's still a non-region matchup, but that's the thing about non-region. One, you learn your lessons. Two, you figure out what type of team you are and where's your identity at. And then three, me as a coach and these kids as players want to win for their community. Everybody says no matter what, non-region doesn't matter. No, the wins and losses don't matter. It doesn't go towards your playoff seed. It doesn't go towards anything. But as a pride thing for this community and for this program and everything, it does matter. Wins matter a lot to us as a program, and we're going out there to win every single ball game. And no matter who the opponent is, no matter if they're 5A, 7A, number 1 in the state, number 20 in the state, I don't care. I expect you to perform the same way. I expect you to prepare the same way. And if we can put up 60 and hold them to 0, that's what we're going to do. And that's what I expect out of these guys on Friday is score as many as you can. Try to shut the scoreboard down on the home side, and then we're gonna roll. We're gonna roll into the next week.
All right, folks. That'll wrap up this week's episode of the Big Game Breakdown. We got a big one coming up this Friday night as the Greyhounds take on Natchez. I know the team is ready to bring the energy back to the field. Huge thanks to Coach Bramlett, Senior Nolan Wells, and Coach Lampley for joining us tonight and sharing their insight. Be sure to come out and support your Greyhounds. This is a resilient team, and I'm confident they'll bounce back strong. As always, you can tune in next week for more in-depth breakdowns and player spotlights right here at Knuckleheads. Until then, stay locked in, keep the spirit up, and we'll see you under the Friday night lights. This is the Big Game Breakdown. See y'all next time.
Seneca Hampton, where you at, boss?